Here we go. Look at that. The thing's even fogged up. You can't see it very well, but minus 20 something. It was almost minus 30 first thing this morning. This is midday. It's snowing out, and everything in me said, don't do this. But in the interest of giving my YouTube audience the most authentic experience about farming in central British Columbia, I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it. So here we go. We're gonna scrape the hay in for those cows. This is midday. What's the time here? Let's see. Ooh, about 10 minutes to 5 in the afternoon. And that's a testament to the equinox has passed, and it's actually staying daylight a little bit longer through the day. Because normally, well, not very long ago, by 4:30 it was dark, and here we are almost 5 o'clock. And look at that. There's Stella. You can see her with your own eyes. And everybody's in a rush because you never know. He might be bringing us oats. There's Bambi, Cujo, Coco, and Dots. And we're not bringing them oats yet. That's not for another couple hours. But we're going to go through here and rake the hay for them. You give this a little kick. Get the snow off of there, because otherwise, if you don't, it'll end up down your neck, and you won't like that. Just trust me on that one. You don't have to experience for yourself. I've done it already. It's no fun. Snow down your neck is not a good idea. Look at those poor babies. Brr. Minus 25 degrees. Is it cold, Stella? A little bit cold, isn't it? Brr. Poor baby cow. Yikes. Yeah. It's cold. Okay. Now, if I run that way towards the hay pen, you watch. They'll come running. Okay, ready? Here we go. Come on, guys. Run! I'm too old for this stuff. And I said they'll come running, but oh no. They're like, what the heck is wrong with him? Come on, guys. Hurry up. Run! That's how fast cows go at minus 25. Running is not an option. Okay, let's go scrape that hay in. Slave to the algorithm, we need a video, so here we are. Hear the snow squeaking? Yeah, it's freaking cold out. You gotta brush this off of here or you'll get a wet backside. There's nothing stuck to my feet. It's too cold for that, trust me. Oh well. Okay. The pile's getting smaller. Oh yes it is. Yeah, and they're ready for us to come and push something in. I'm pulling this toque down around my ears because it's not nice. When at this temperature, it's kind of prickly on the nose. Oh, cowies, yeah. We'll get them a really nice bale. So there's always this formula when you're trying to, in the effort of feeding cows in the most balanced kind of a way. It's like, okay, you give them some hay, you give them some oats, you give them some hay, and you're kind of layering it in there. Because it's almost like composting inside the cow. That's what makes the heat, to keep them warm. Okay. And this, obviously, this is the hay that's left over that they're not that crazy about. The bits that they pushed away instead of eating. So, well, set you guys up. Oops. I just about fell over backwards. Yeah. The thing I wish about this little tripod that we bought is that it was about a foot taller, because it's awfully short. Darn thing always tries to fall over. And it points up in the air at the oddest time. There we go. How about that? That's not bad. Okay, there you are. You're set up. I'll be right back. I'm going to get a bale of hay. Nice green one. Lately, I've been looking at videos on sailing in the Caribbean. Let me tell you, it's extremely tempting. Even though we're in the middle of the winter, underneath that hay pile, when you pull a bale down, it's nasty dusty. When you have any dust allergies, you don't want to do that. Sorry, babies. Yeah. Are you hungry? There you go. Have it. In the cold weather, you need to make sure that your cows have access to some good quality food all the time. And if you don't, well, shame on you. Because it's kind of like putting wood in the fire. When it's cold out, they need to have the wood stove filled right up to the top. Keep them nice and warm. So, there we go. That's why we're out here in the middle of the day, making sure they got lots to eat. That's what happens inside the cow. It's kind of a bit of a compost heap. They got several stomachs in there that are digesting hay, and in the whole process creates the heat and keeps them warm. And so you can see the pile is it's heaped up there so they can have all they want. That's how nature made it, so that they can't get cold. And you can tell the insulation is, how can I tell you this? Say you're looking at you're into real estate and you're looking at a house to buy in the interior or the northern part of the world. And the way you check when you go look at these houses to see if you're going to buy it, to see if it's well insulated or not. If you go look at a house and the snow is all melted off the roof, what that means is there's no insulation in it. And the heat's gone straight out and melted the snow. And so for these cows, let me pick you back up again, okay? We're gonna do this freestyle. So on these cows, you look on the backs of them, and the snow isn't even melting. That means there's plenty of insulation in there. Little camera's having a fit. It didn't like that. Okay, there we go. See how the snow's not melting off the roof? It means there's plenty of insulation in there and they're not cold on the inside. Skinny cows are cold cows. Well-fed cows have a layer of fat on the back of them, and that causes the insulation, just like animals out in nature. A moose or a deer or a muskox or buffalo, whatever you're looking at. That's what the hair is designed to do. There's a layer of fleece underneath. It's like thick felt, and then the hairs get more coarse as you go to the outside of the animal. Look at that. I don't have any hair on me at all. That's why the camera's shaking. But them, they got that coarse hair, and the snow lays on the outside, and they're nice and warm. Aren't you, cowies? Yeah. And that's why during the cold weather, I check on them 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night, and about, just before bedtime. Whoops. Put that back where it goes. About 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, I come out. Yeah, Callie. Yeah. Poof. Coco. Which one's this? This one's Stella. Hello, Stella. And Coco. And Cujo. Brr. The snow on the outside doesn't even melt. There's no heat escaping out of these cows at all, or it would melt the snow. So they have a very thick layer of insulation in there, and nature's built it that way so that they don't get cold. Dots, yeah, good girl. And Bambi. Grumpy. But yes, in the cold weather, you need to make sure you keep your cows with plenty of food in front of them. Or shame on you. It's like putting wood in the wood stove. In the cold weather, they need to have plenty of wood to keep them filled up so they don't get cold. And then you won't have to feel bad like a lousy farmer. And then tonight, in another 2-3 hours, I'll come out and give them their grain, and I'll come and I'll push it all back in again to make sure that they're full right up. And that's how you manage to keep your cows from not being cold. Brr. There you go. What do you think, Stella? Got something to say? A bit of a rant from an old farmer, that's what that was. But it's important. If you're going to take on the job, then you better do the job. It's worth doing right. That's what my grandfather used to say. Can you hear that? That's a beautiful sound. It's awful quiet out here. In the country, there's a Highway 97 north to Alaska. There it is right there. And this guy, see that right there? That's the guy with the Canadian maple leaf flapping on the back of his truck. Ever since the trucker convoy in Canada, he's been going back and forth up and down the highway there. Twice a day. Good girls. Yeah, I'm shaking. It's cold. Hope the camera is holding steady enough. Bambi, Dots, Cujo, Coco, and Stella. It's a brisk central British Columbia winter. Not January. Fact check, February 2nd. Oh yeah, I was going to talk to you about the moon thing. My grandmother used to say, old folks back settler days, they had to have little poems to help them remember things. And she used to have this little saying. It used to be, "The moon and the weather may change together, but the change in the moon never changed the weather." What the hell does that mean? I'm about to tell you. What it means is there's a full moon. When the moon is full and bright, round, that's a full moon. That means whatever you got for 2 weeks before the full moon, it's highly likely that what you're going to get for the next 2 weeks, 10 days, will be the same. The weather doesn't change on a full moon. But on a new moon, That means when the moon has waned, you know, the thumbnail, you get like a smaller and sliver, smaller, till there's no moon at all, and that's the blackest night of the month. When the moon wanes down to a new moon, it's blacked out, and then it starts to wax back up again. The thumbnail goes on the other side, and you wax back up to a full moon. When you get to that new moon where it's blacked right out, that's when you can get the drastic weather changes suddenly. And I think it was 3 days ago, January 29th or something, we had a new moon. And by jiggery, if the weather didn't change. It's been cold since then, and it's very likely not to change for 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks. And we'll be almost halfway or more than halfway through February by then. I think February 27th, I think, is the next full moon. And then we can have warm weather after that. And then, then there's another little poem called, how does it go? March in like a lion, march out like a lamb. March in like a lamb, march out like a lion. And that means the first week in March, you want it to be miserable and nasty, like a lion, nasty weather. And then that means the end of March will be like a lamb, and you'll have wonderful weather towards the end of March and an early spring. There you go. Some old farmer wives' tales, Farmer's Almanac info. Brr. I feel like I'm not holding the camera very still. It's freaking cold out here. Kick this in a little bit. There you go. Put some wood on the fire. Nice warm cow. There you go. Have it. Good girls. Finn already bailed. He ran back to the house. Wimp. Look at Coco, see? There's no heat escaping out the top of this or the snow would be melted. She is very well insulated. Aren't you, Coco? Cujo? Yeah. Good boy. Bambi? She might kick. She could very likely kick me because she's a little bit nervous. Dots? Yeah, she's tame. And Stella. Okay. Brr, look at. My hands are red for a reason. All right. Wherever you are, have a happy day. And we'll see you next time. Okay, jump, let's go. Baby.